There have been plenty of Hollywood stars over the years who have achieved fame and then squandered it as a result of bad behavior. From Chevy Chase to Ed Norton, join Facts First as we take a look at the most hated actors in Hollywood who can't find work today.
Thanks to Rocket Money for sponsoring today's video. More about them later.
Chevy Chase. Chevy Chase is a comedic actor who's seen a great number of ups and downs, and it all started during the first season of Saturday Night Live. Chevy was one of the founding cast members when the show debuted in 1975, taking the world by storm alongside luminaries like John Belushi and Dan Aykroyd. Audiences today might be surprised to learn Chevy was actually considered to be the breakout performer of the first season. He was the first member of the show's cast to ditch the program to start a movie career, which caused a lot of bad blood between him and the others on set. It seems Chevy let his SNL fame get to his head. He wasn't afraid to bring his fellow cast members down to get ahead, and this is a big part of how he managed to become the show's breakout star. When Chevy left the show to start appearing in movies, there weren't many people left behind who missed him. Still, Chevy ended up getting invited back to host an episode of the show, during which he got into a fistfight with Bill Murray. Chevy's ego caused him to squander his film career after leaving SNL. He has certainly appeared in many iconic films, but his career fizzled out significantly towards the end of the 80s. By the 90s, he was struggling to find work. In the new millennium, Chevy was given a chance to become a star again thanks to the NBC sitcom Community. He appeared on the first several seasons to immense acclaim and then got into a fight with the show's creative staff over his character. He played an old man on the show, and much of the humor came from the character's senility. Ever the egoist, Chevy wanted his character to be cooler, which the creative staff said wasn't going to happen. Chevy ended up walking off of Community during the peak of the show's success, and he wasn't featured in the remainder of the successful series. Katherine Heigl. Katherine Heigl found fame as a result of her lead performance on the medical drama Grey's Anatomy. She left the series to start a film career, and just like Chevy Chase, Katherine left a lot of bad blood in her wake as a result of her giant ego. Before leaving Grey's Anatomy behind, Katherine publicly disgraced the show's creative staff by saying she didn't deserve the numerous Emmy nods she'd been granted during her time on the series. According to her, her character had been too poorly written. Ironically, these Emmy nods continue to be the biggest accolades she's ever received. There are a few reasons Katherine Heigl's film career hasn't turned out. For one thing, the actress seems to have exhibited some decidedly diva-like behavior on the set of the few big Hollywood films she's starred in. A few of those include Knocked Up and 27 Dresses, and she appears to have behaved poorly during production of both. When Knocked Up came out, Katherine disparaged the film, saying its plot was sexist. During the filming of 27 Dresses, she threw a fit when she didn't get the hotel suite she requested. Besides her diva-like behavior behind the scenes, it also appears that many in Hollywood are afraid of the actress's mother/manager, who apparently has an even worse temper. Roseanne Barr. Roseanne Barr had one of the biggest sitcoms of the 80s and 90s with Roseanne. In the 2010s, she was given the chance to reboot it, and the reboot proved nearly as successful, but Roseanne said some controversial and racist things on social media that saw her fired from the rebooted program after only one season. She referred to one of Barack Obama's advisors as a monkey, claiming she looked like something out of Planet of the Apes. Following Roseanne's firing, the reboot was branded as The Conners, which continues to air to this day.
With inflation and the increasing cost of living, it's difficult to stay on budget to save for retirement. Having some extra guidance with budgets can help, and that's where Rocket Money comes in. Rocket Money is an all-in-one finance platform that helps you save more and spend less. The Personal Finance Manager allows you to manage subscriptions, lower bills, monitor your credit score, and build your savings all in one place. Rocket Money can see if you have recurring charges for subscriptions you forgot about. From there, they cancel unwanted subscriptions for you with just a tap. Inside the platform, you can set budgets and monitor your spending for those categories. If you go over budget, you'll get friendly notifications that help you stay on track. You can also monitor your credit score. With complete access to your credit reports and history, Rocket Money alerts you of important changes that impact your score and offers you insights on ways to improve it. To try it out for free today and unlock more features with premium, head to rocketmoney.com/factsfirst or click the link in the video description.
Mel Gibson. For a time, Mel Gibson was the biggest action star in the world. From many perspectives, he's still a respected figure in the film industry due to the fact that he continues to direct successful films. But it's unlikely he'll ever be welcomed back to the screen quite the same way he was during his days as a leading man. The reason people don't like him anymore is because of some strange tirades the actor went on during the 2000s. One of these was to a police officer, and the other was to the actor's ex-wife. Both tirades were made public, and they show the actor had some pretty disturbing feelings about women and minorities. Charlie Sheen. Charlie Sheen found success during the 80s as Hollywood's bad boy, and he ended up becoming a little too bad over the 90s and beyond. Nowadays, he has trouble finding work, though there have been a few periods over the course of his career where he was one of the biggest stars in the world. In the 2000s, Charlie was having a career renaissance as a result of his starring role on 2.5 Men. Sadly, he was fired from the show as a result of his erratic behavior. Though on-set behavior was given as the reason for the firing, most suspected it was actually the actor's increasingly bizarre public behavior that was the issue. Charlie always partied too much, which has led to him doing things like developing extreme substance abuse habits and marrying porn stars. It only seems natural that such behaviors would be considered problematic, given that the actor was appearing on a successful series with a child performer. It's hard to say what specifically got Charlie terminated from his role, but the actor's career hasn't recovered since. Dustin Hoffman. Dustin Hoffman is widely considered one of the most respected actors of modern Hollywood, and much of this respect stems from his successful performance alongside Meryl Streep in the classic drama Kramer vs. Kramer. The film came out in 1979 and was Streep's first big role. Though the film was acclaimed and both of its lead performers were given plenty of praise, it appears there was an incident between Dustin and Meryl during filming that hurt Dustin's reputation. According to Meryl Streep, Dustin's infamous slap in Kramer vs. Kramer wasn't staged. The actress says Dustin slapped her for real, and this was made all the worse by the fact that it was Meryl's first scene that she filmed during production. Dustin was the more popular star at the time, and Meryl was already nervous to appear in front of the cameras. The fact that he took advantage of this nervousness when the cameras were rolling certainly rubbed the actress the wrong way, though she went along with it because she wanted her role to be a success. Meryl certainly commands more respect than Dustin in the entertainment industry nowadays, though that's not to say Dustin still isn't around. Hopefully he's cleaned up his behavior. Sharon Stone. Sharon Stone infamously turned down the chance to be in Basic Instinct 2 because she didn't want to appear on screen alongside actor Benjamin Bratt. Sharon didn't consider Benjamin a big enough star for her tastes, which some might say makes her a brat. Sharon appeared in the original, which was a bigger critical and commercial success than its sequel. To add insult to injury, Sharon attempted to sue producers of the sequel for $14 million, claiming they had promised her they'd pay her that sum whether she appeared in the picture or not. Edward Norton. Ed Norton is certainly a critically acclaimed actor, though he doesn't appear in much nowadays because he doesn't behave very graciously towards his peers. Edward has been rubbing his peers the wrong way since the beginning of his career, when he submitted his own edit of the film American History X to the studio behind the director's back. The edit ended up being used over the director's own, and the director went on to call Edward a backstabber. Now it's time to hear from you. Did you know that Dustin Hoffman slapped Meryl Streep for real on the set of Kramer vs. Kramer? Let us know in the comments section below. And before you go, make sure you give this video a like and subscribe to Factsverse if you haven't already. Click the bell icon to stay updated on all our latest content.